Alright, welcome to another Triple J video. This is going to be continuing our series of repasting every graphics card we own. Today we're going to be repasting this 1060 MSI graphics card. The tools you're going to need is isopropyl alcohol. I recommend above 90% just to keep it on the safe side. You're going to need a screwdriver, and this is a number 1 Phillips. You need some thermal paste and some Q-tips or whatever other media you're going to use to clean off the thermal paste. And you might optionally want a duster, the compressed air dusters, to blow out the kind of like this one, to blow out the heatsink on your graphics card. Also, a few warnings before we begin. You should wear a electrostatic wrist strap to prevent that, but I'm safe. Seriously though, you should wear one. And you may or may not, depending on how new your graphics card is, this little sticky here, I don't know if you can see it, but if it's intact, you probably shouldn't do this yourself because your warranty is most likely still intact. This card's pretty old and it's secondhand. It no longer has a warranty, and that's why we're going to mess with it. Alright, enjoy the video. Alright, so this is the top of the graphics card, for my demonstration purposes anyway. We're going to start on the back. I've never taken this one apart, so we're going to do it together. We're going to start with our screwdriver here. We're going to begin by taking all these smaller screws out, and then these 4 are what hold on the heatsink, and that's what we're going to take off last. Alright, this back plate should come off now. So the back plate looks like. You can see it's had its fair share of use there. So now we're going to begin by taking it off each screw across from each other. You don't want to take it off like this side and then this side. You want to do this one and this one, or this one and this one first. And you want to be careful as you're doing this to hold on to the fan shroud when you take this off, so that you don't hurt the cable on the other side. There could be multiple on your graphics card. I think this one's going to have 2, one for the light and one for the fan. But pretty much every graphics card is different, and you want to be really careful with those cables because they can be weak sometimes. Alright, so, as I was mentioning, oh, wow. Okay, that thermal paste was not very sticky. I'm going to be very careful here. Flip it over.
Probably burnt up.
It's very possible. I should have done a better inspection before I unscrewed it. Okay, so I don't know. Can you see the 2 wires there?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to want to carefully unplug those. We'll attempt to see how they're held on. I believe you can just pull straight up on these ones.
If I yell caught in 4K when you break it, you're going to be angry.
Alright, so there was actually 3 cables on this one. We had these 2, and then there's one up here, and this is on the top of the card where the power plug is. That's the only one you have to actually undo. And then you could just twist it over like I did here. So this is the actual GPU itself. This is the processing chip. This is the heatsink. And yeah, we're going to clean it up here. So you're going to get your isopropyl alcohol. You're gonna.
I just realized 2 of the thermal pads came off.
Yeah, that's fine, as long as they stick where they're supposed to be. So this is now soaked in isopropyl alcohol. We're just gonna break this up a little bit. Don't worry. If you watch this video and you want to see a 1080 Ti, a PNY blower version, leave a comment.
Or a Gaming X 1080 Ti.
Or possibly,
in the future,
in the future, we might acquire a MSI 1080 Ti. If you'd like to see that, leave a comment. We might be able to hook you up with that. Alright, we got it all cleaned up now. And I'm going to show you how much thermal paste to use here. So I prefer a spreader. It definitely makes it easier to know exactly how much you're using. But if you don't have one, you just do a small dollop in the middle. I might need more because I'm going to spread it out. But
I'm going to zoom in on that.
you can if you like.
Too late.
Just going to gently. This is not a spreader, by the way. I'm just using it as a spreader. Rinse it off afterwards. It might not have been quite enough, but we'll see here. This stuff's quite a bit stickier than Cryonaut, but should still be pretty decent. This is deep cool thermal paste. We used Cryonaut before on our other video. You should check that out. And it was amazing. It went on very well. I'm going to use a tiny bit more here. That doesn't seem like quite enough. I could be overdoing it, but in my opinion, I would rather have too much than too little. But that is a personal decision. Alright, you got it pretty well spread out there.
Let me zoom in on it quick.
Sure.
If I can figure it out. There we go. It's a little bit closer for you.
Is it focused? My cameraman can figure it out.
There we go.
It's kind of what it looks like. You just want a thin layer all the way across. That's all you really need. You don't need a huge gob of it or anything. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to decide now. I think I'm going to press the back plate onto the heatsink. So let's attempt that, shall we? So be careful of those wires. We're also going to maybe, I think I'm going to hook it on and then plug that wire in. Just in case here. So you're going to try to look through the 4 holes in the back here. It should be surrounded by what looks like rubber grommets. Get it as close as you can. Kind of want to gently press it down to make sure that thermal paste is pretty well spread out there. And we're going to grab our screws. And remember that the screws with the springs on them. We're going to do it in a kind of cross star pattern, just like you would with a car tire. And you just go until it stops. It doesn't take a huge amount of pressure or anything crazy. And remember, don't put these smaller screws on until you got the back plate back on. Otherwise, you'll have to take them all back out. That's in focus, right?
It is.
Perfect.
I can double check here quick if you'd like.
Yep. Alright. Pretty well on there. So now, gently pick this up. Well, that sucks. I can't plug in that cord from here. So, I'm going to cut the video, and I'll put a warning before this saying, don't hook it on until you have that cable on. Alright, we're back. I redid the thermal paste and hooked up the cable before putting these on. Now we're going to start with the back plate. And it goes like this, I believe. Yes. So, as I do these screws, I think this looks right? Mm-hmm. As I put in these screws, I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe, but it would help us out. If you know what I'm saying. Cue fast play. Alright, we're back. And you have a light new MSI. I can put that in quick. Now, you've got a light new MSI Gaming Plus 1060 Geforce GTX 1060. There you go. We should have some videos up on the screen now of our other videos on the channel. And yeah, you should go check them out if you like this video.